I was working in my garden and suddenly I saw this car drive into my driveway. I approached the driver, who omitted to see me and nearly knocked me over, and said to him that it was a private driveway. Would he please refrain from using it as a turning point? Having said that, I was told by this young man that what's it to do with me, and I should go back where I came from because it's not my driveway. I was a bit gobsmacked, wasn't sure how to respond, and I then said to him, it is my driveway, not realising that he was actually being quite racist. From there on, he got into further dialogue and started to say, what's that shit on your face? Being brown, very light brown, and having scars from a burns accident, I was again thrown by his remark and thought, how do I respond to this? At first, actually, I didn't know what to do or say, and so I repeated myself and said, this is my driveway, so that I didn't get into a dialogue with him, and please don't use it as a turning point. So he got even more abusive, started swearing, and then told me I should go back to where I came from and that I should clean that shit off my face. I didn't seem to get anywhere with him, so I ignored him and went across to a neighbour who had been listening all the while. She came out, hands on hips, a white female, actually a university art teacher, gave him what for. But that wasn't enough for him either. So I phoned the police. They didn't come straight away, and finally they did arrive, but he took off. I got his registration number and his name from his friends, and they were able to contact him. But that evening I had a visit from him and his sister. They'd obviously thought that they hadn't done the right thing, but I refused to speak to them or see them because I didn't want to get into a big discussion about things. So eventually, about 10 in the evening, in their own way, the police arrived, and I explained to them. They said they couldn't do anything. However, I continued to pursue them, wrote out my own statement and took it to the police station. They had to then take account of what I was saying. And I told them that 30 years I'd been working in a caring profession and knew what I was talking about. They then continued to say that it would have to go up to the sergeant and the final decision was with him. After a long period of time, they came back to me and said that they had spoken to Crown Prosecution and they were going to pursue it through the courts. It went to court. I left it to the court to make the decision, and eventually the guy was fined. I was very saddened by this event. As I said before, I'd been in the caring profession, working with families who came from various backgrounds, from the very poor to the very wealthy, and all cultures and all religions, and never had I been so directly, dumbfounded by the remarks as I did on this occasion. So is that if I hadn't been so articulate, it wouldn't have gone to court, and this guy would have continued in the same way with other people. And I sincerely hope that he doesn't, and he's learned his lesson. To this day, I shall never forget the bit about "you don't belong here, this isn't your place anyway, and wipe that shit off your face."